Okay, let's just jump straight into it. We're kicking off this deep dive because there's some, well, pretty major breaking news overnight. A significant escalation. Iran has apparently launched a direct attack missiles and drones on Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. That's a huge U.S. base.
Yeah, a huge base. And reports are saying Qatari and U.S. air defenses were active. They engaged.
Right, but the Pentagon is confirming that some projectiles, maybe advanced ones, cruise missiles perhaps, they did get through.
Got through. Wow.
Yeah, leading to impacts, damage to infrastructure, and reports, still early, but reports of potential injuries to U.S. personnel. And just to remind everyone listening, Al Udeid, I mean, this isn't a small outpost. It's the largest U.S. military facility in the Middle East.
The nerve center, really.
Thousands of troops, command centers, vital for air ops across the whole region. It's
Wow.
critical.
Absolutely. And this action, I mean, it just screams retaliation, doesn't it?
Retaliation for what specifically, do you think?
Well, you remember those recent U.S. and Israeli strikes against the Iran-backed militia targets in Syria, in Iraq? Tehran promised they'd respond. And this looks like that response. But hitting Al Udeid directly, that's not just symbolic.
No.
It feels like a direct punch, a punch right at U.S. power projection, aiming for the logistical heart.
So this moves things away from the proxy conflicts we usually talk about.
Definitely. It feels like we're moving towards, near direct confrontation.
Yeah.
Hitting a sovereign U.S. base like Al Udeid, that crosses a major threshold.
A major threshold. That sounds serious.
It is. It signals a willingness from Tehran to engage U.S. forces directly, something we haven't really seen quite like this in decades.
Okay, that's a stark way to put it. A major threshold. But I wonder, is it possible this is also maybe signaling, like showing capability to deter future strikes without necessarily wanting a full-blown war?
It's certainly signaling capability, no doubt about that. But it's signaling loaded with immense risk.
Right. So what happens now? I mean, this feels like we could be getting into a really terrifying loop.
Exactly. That's the immediate fear.
If Washington hits back hard, maybe inside Iran itself, how does Tehran react then? Do they go further, maybe target Israel or Gulf oil facilities?
Those are the nightmare scenarios, absolutely.
And we already saw the markets react, right? Oil prices jumped, what, 5% almost instantly on this news?
Yeah, the economic jitters are immediate. And what stands out here really is the scale, the sophistication.
More than usual.
Oh, much more. This isn't, a couple of militia rockets fired crudely. This appears to be Iran's actual military, firing ballistic missiles potentially hundreds of miles.
To hit the heart of U.S. operations.
Precisely. It shows capability, yes, but also a chilling intent, which puts regional players in a very tough spot.
Like Qatar, hosting the base, but trying to maintain ties with Iran.
Exactly. They're condemning it, calling for de-escalation. You can feel the pressure they're under. Meanwhile, you can bet Israel, Saudi Arabia, they're on maximum alert right now.
So you're saying this scale, this directness, it fundamentally shifts the dynamic. We're beyond those shadow wars.
I think we have to say we are. This feels much more like we're, perilously close to the brink. It's out in the open now.
And globally, what's the reaction likely to be?
Predictable splits, I'd imagine. You'll have Russia, China probably blaming, quote, U.S. provocations. While NATO allies, the EU, they'll urge restraint, but they'll stand with the U.S., condemning Iran's actions. The UN Security Council is probably scrambling as we speak.
So the big shift is just the directness of it all.
Well,
A state actor hitting a U.S. base with advanced weapons.
that's the core of it. It changes the whole calculus. It makes direct military responses, which used to seem distant, feel suddenly like a real terrifying possibility.
Which leaves us with this huge immediate challenge, finding a way out, finding an off-ramp before this spirals further.
That's the critical question right now, isn't it? In the coming hours, the coming days, will cooler heads prevail? Will they find that off-ramp, maybe through quiet diplomacy, back channels? Or are we staring down the barrel of a much wider, much more direct conflict? It really feels like the definition of red lines is being tested, and the cost of getting it wrong is immense.
So the next move is Washington's.
It seems that way. The ball is firmly in Washington's court now, and, the world is watching very, very closely.